We use mathematics every day, not only us future engineers, but also businessmen and artists as well. It is always with us everywhere we go. From the moment we wake up, we see the numbers in the clock. We predict if we are going to be late or not. Then we commute and use mathematics to pay. Well, the list goes on. And do you know what? Regardless of your gender, culture, or language, mathematics binds us all together. We, if not all, mostly use the same numbers from 0 to 9, and we use the same logical arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In short, we share mathematics as a language, and this is called numeracy. But it doesn't end there. Mathematics connects us with all the people in different countries and circumstances. Mathematics doesn't need to be just solving complicated and brain-racking equations, but it's also about making our lives more efficient, reasonable, secure, and easier. One more reason to love mathematics is that math itself is its own language, and it has its own language. Confusing, right? But that's mathematics for you. Even though it mostly consists of numbers and letters, mathematics involves a lot of patterns and requires a lot of logic since it is deeply rooted to logic and reasoning. Will you believe that mathematics can be seen in nature? Apparently, math works behind the scenes of one of the most common patterns that we can see in our universe, like the galaxies and the arrangement of patterns in plants. One of them is the Fibonacci sequence, which we all know are a set of numbers which can be found in nature, such as the arrangement of seeds, petals, or leaves. The sequence can be formed by starting by 0 and 1. The sequence progresses when adding the preceding number to determine the succeeding number. Another one is the golden ratio, which is a famous proportion that famous artists in the past have used in their artworks, such as the Parthenon in Greece and in music. Other examples include the famous Mona Lisa painting and the Vitruvian Man. In the modern world today, we find out that the pattern that is consistent with what we see in nature. It appears in the eye of the storm, galaxies, and in flowers. The most common application of fractals is in computer science. Since fractals deals with images and patterns, hence it is mostly used to create images and realistic models. In learning all of these, we can say that numbers are associated with the concept of beauty in arts and in nature, since it gives us the reason that they are numbers, or let us say, it is magic that is working behind the scenes of the breathtaking world around us.
Financial literacy is very important in one's personal growth. Being financial literate basically means to be knowledgeable on how to manage your financial resources effectively and efficiently. But how will you be able to do that if you don't even know the basics of mathematics? See how important math is? After having lessons and lessons about investments and the like, I realized that it is better for us to start young. Having investments at a very young age could make you a millionaire in your early 30s. I'm not even kidding. That is why you need to believe me if I tell you that mathematics is very important in the aspect of finance.
Cryptography renders data unintelligible to everyone except the intended recipient, while coding theory ensures the data is decodable despite disruptions. Coding theory powers today's technology-oriented digital world. Every website, smartphone application, computer program, calculator, and even microwave relies on codes in order to operate. We must consider the coding language, the purpose of the code, security, possible errors, and the correction of those errors. Error-correcting codes are used to improve communication reliability over noisy channels, which is accomplished by adding redundancy. Without these, information wouldn't be transmitted correctly and would take longer to be corrected. A message is transmitted through a noisy channel by an encoder that maps it into a sequence of channel symbols of a certain length. The channel distorts each of these symbols independently of the others. The received sequence is fed into a decoder, which maps the sequence into an estimate of the message. Encryption is the process of changing data to make it unreadable by anyone except those possessing the key that allows them to decode the message in a process called decryption. It allows us to protect data from outsider access. Businesses use it to protect corporate secrets, governments use it to secure classified information, and many individuals use it to guard against identity theft. Hundreds of times a day we use cryptography in our everyday life. It protects our data. Every time we make a call, email someone, buy something with a credit card, or even get cash from an ATM, encryption works to ensure its confidentiality and security. It is important to consider the key length, key management policies, and the nature of encryption algorithm. Longer keys provide stronger encryption. Access to encryption keys must be tightly controlled as this controls the operation of the whole algorithm. Symmetric encryption is used to share information between a set of people that all have access to it. It is faster and easier to understand. Asymmetric encryption is used when a large number of subsets of people shall be able to share information. It allows people to certify that a public key belongs to a certain person.
Mathematics is useful in decision making because it gives out the general idea. And it gives out deductive reasoning, and it helps you predict what comes next. In tackling social problems, it's relevant because it gets the idea of other people instead of yours alone. So decision at the end gets to have the majority to agree, and there will be less chaos. It is also relevant because it helps you to be able to think of strategies when you're in a position to make difficult decisions. In relevance of social choice theory, I believe that there's a better way to vote, an efficient way to vote. Because having an effective way to vote, if only one person makes the overall decision, there may be a lot of people that won't agree. So there will be no one else to back up you but yourself. And then I think having a fair voting system, it's good for solving social problems. So we get to know everyone's side and decisions. After knowing those, we could have a decision and majority would agree since the decision would depend on the majority. In game theory, the games in game theory are the things that you can make decisions on. It's not just random that that things happen for a reason. No. You pick a decision and whatever you choose, that's what you'll get. In addition, what you choose has a strategy behind it. It's not just random, as I said. And then the context of game theory. An example in real life is in a relationship when you cheat on your boyfriend. When you cheat, you have a decision to tell him or not to tell him because you felt bad or you don't want to tell him. So he seems suspicious. And in game theory, there would be types of choices where you can pick if you're gonna tell him or not. And then, yeah, basically game theory is a lot of choices but has an algorithm of what you choose. Mathematics is considered as a tool in solving problems efficiently because solving problems efficiently gives you more strategies, methods, and statistics and others in helping you make your decisions and solve your problems. It brainstorms all the specific details into one general idea, so it's easier to think about the situation. Having an efficient way of solving is a benefit for all of us because a method that is efficient when it gives you an outcome that you need and want, and it won't worsen your situation. An example is a transportation problem. When you have, for example, when you have a big van and a small van, and you want to maximize the capacity but want to lessen your expenses. So that's one way to solve it, using the transportation. And then another is the shortest path. It gives you 2 points and you get the shortest path to those 2 points, no matter how far they are apart. For the Hungarian method, it gives you a way to minimize your cost but you get to maximize your people. So basically, having an efficient way to solve things gives you an easier time to decide on things and still have a way to save money or time or expenses.